to share with you this particular song I have once in Paro Chichu in Bhutan. We were doing rituals, pujas for royal family. And during the break, I was reading Kaju Gunso. I always like reading, actually not just me, many people love reading Kaju Gunso, and especially Milarepa's songs. Because also, I mean, of course, aside from the fact that it has, it's a complete path, but many of these songs are very, what do you call it? It's very moving. So I remember that actually many younger generation, young Rinpoches, we used to really love reading these. And of course ask Dzongsar Khentse Rinpoche. And during the break, we talked about this, this particular song. And we talked about ice and water. And this is quite an amazing, which to celebrate and just to appreciate the song, I'd like to share this with you. He said, and later I found this also written in Dzongsar Khentse Rinpoche's his own advice to some one of his students, I don't remember. Anyway, he said that we are like a thirsty people, and looking for water, but we are holding an ice in our hand, and we are frantically looking for water everywhere. Little do we realize that if we can relax and have confidence, this ice is water. When it melts, then it becomes water. Likewise, and we were talking about this particular song, connecting to the, sesame seed and all that. This very mind that we have right now, the one that thinks, one that hears, one that, wanders, one that gets distracted, one that gets frustrated for being distracted. All of this very mind is the wisdom. Yes, it is frozen because we are frantic, we are paranoid, and we are frantically looking for a way out. And this paranoia and frantically moving here and there just makes this ice even more icier, I think. So, only thing we could do, if only we know how to relax, you will realize this very mind is the wisdom. So here, as I was saying, there are so many paths, so many doctrines, so many spiritual paths, but very few mentions the inseparability of solution and problem. Problem is the solution, solution is the problem. This inseparability, this is one way of sharing the wisdom of our forefathers. And it is very relevant today. It's not like arcade, out of date. Now, more than ever, we need to read these songs. Now, more than ever, we need to know that this ice will become water. And as far as ice is concerned, we have plenty. This is what we need to realize. Very good. This, at least.
The evolution of Dhamma practice, there have been many claimed gurus. How do we authenticate between the genuine and fake Rinpoche and Tulkus? So these are sort of related questions. So I'm going to generally answer the question. How do you authenticate the genuine Tulkus or Rinpoches or Khempos or... Wow, I can't tell you anything about that. Not possible. There is no organization in Buddhism from time memorial where it gives a stamp, okay, you are authentic and you are not. You understand? There isn't. And I shall thank for that. I shall thank the fact that there is no organization that gives the authentic stamp for a good Tulku or bad Tulku, because I could easily corrupt them. Right? This society, this group. Because it's again another human endeavor. So, yes, there's a lot of charlatan. I've actually written a book about the Guru, and I have dedicated my book to the charlatans because they make the life very, very interesting. Charlatans and fake ones. And how can you tell? It's very subjective. I mean, I can tell you few criteria, few information. Okay. Usually we always talk about Khentse Nusum, right? Khentse Nu. Oh no, wait. What is it? Ke Zun Zangsum. Ke Zun Zang. Ke. Now that one you can judge. Ke means scholastic or not. Is he a learned one or not? That one you can figure it out. Just go with few questions, list of questions, and then ask them, okay, how many stages of the Bodhisattvas are there? 10. Good. You know, like that. You know, that you can do. How many, stuff like that. Who is the main disciple of the Buddha? How many, all of that you can ask. And you can even go deeper questions, philosophical, academical, intellectual questions. That one you can do. But that quality care is actually not the most important. It is important, but it's not the most important. Because there's a lot of learned people who are crooks. Learned people are better at being crook. They actually can really, because they can exhibit their knowledge and then that's it. You are like flattened. Right? So the next quality to check whether the Lama is genuine or not is Zun. Zun means disciplined or not. Are they walking or talking? Walk the talk, right? You know, the gurus, the Lama says don't drink, but they drink. They tell you don't eat meat, they eat meat. They tell you not to do all kinds of things, but they do it themselves. You know? So who is actually walking the talk? Who is actually really disciplined? So that is something that, but this one is much more difficult to analyze, because discipline is much more subtle. I mean, you can still sort of get up 3 in the morning and wait when this Lama is getting up. Stuff like that. Few things you can do it, right? You can sort of maybe put a CCTV on his bedroom and see what he does. Is he really disciplined or not? It's much more difficult than care, how to analyze the care. Much more, but it's still doable. Now, the next one is the most difficult, and is the most important. Zang. Zang. Ke, zun, zang. Zang is kind. How do you value whether he's kind or not? Somebody who's really, really kind can be really, really tough with you, right? Someone who talks straight. No, you can't do this. Many times you may not like it. You can't just tell this Lama is not fake because he's so smiling, he never gets angry. But, you know, there's a lot of gentle, soothing people in our world, but they're very selfish, they don't care about you, etc. So this one is difficult. But I want to talk a little bit about tulku, because this is an important question. First, the tulku means manifestation. By the way, you need to differentiate between tulku and yangsi. Yangsi means reincarnation, re-exist. Actually, reincarnation, English word is not good. It's not a translation of yangsi. Yang means again, si means exist or emergence, right? So yangsi, coming once again. Okay, so once again exist. Once, yang again exists. That's yangsi. And the tulku is manifestation.
Rinpoche, while doing aspiration prayers, most often I feel like I am faking it. Is it normal? Will it ever lead to a genuine feeling? Any shortcuts?
Oh, very good question. This is important, really important. You have to fake. Faking is similar to the earlier one, isn't it? At least you are faking it. Otherwise, you will opt not doing at all. That's much worse. And by the way, this is not me being smart here. This is actually written in the text. If you ever read some of the Buddhist texts, right at the beginning, first line almost, Ngenjungi lo che, or sometimes they even call it things like che rim, which actually has the connotation of faking it, like like cultivating it, fabricating it, because you need to get used to that value. Okay, you already kind of intellectually believe that value, but the reason why, even though you know, let's say you know the benefit of quitting smoke is bad for health, is bad for your lungs, is bad for the environment, etc., etc. You know this very well. You in fact teach this to others, but you smoke because you are addicted to it. So now you want to quit it. So I think the first step is the faking it. Like, okay, only 2 cigarettes, but then you end up smoking 3.
And then you try to reduce by faking, like that. I think I will say it's a good way, but of course, knowing that you are faking, you will also have the urge to make it a little bit better and more genuine, hopefully.